And the dragon.
Oh yeah.
There's a dragon under the castle.
Mm-hmm.
A real dragon. It actually
dragon.
smokes fire and everything. It's real. What's going on, guys?
Happy 2019 and welcome to a brand new year.
Happy New Year. It's been a while, actually.
It's been a few weeks, so we took a little time to get used to 2019. We were straight back into work in the new year and we've had bits and pieces going on. So we took a couple of weeks off of making our vlogs, but we are back and we are super excited to be joining you.
Exactly. The last few weeks has been a little bit busy. We wanted to make some videos just because it was a plan to do it every week.
We also had like some videos that we were definitely going to film, but stuff just didn't quite work out as well.
And we do have some footage that we just haven't really had a chance to put up. But as of now, we are living our lives and actually we are excited about a few things coming up. So
yes.
I guess let's get started to why you guys chose to watch this video today.
Yeah, as you may have seen from the title, in fact I know you would have seen from the title,
yes.
We do have a very exciting trip announcement.
I wonder if you guys can figure it out.
For anyone that has been on our Instagram, you will have already seen that we announced a very, very special trip coming up in just under 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. It is. It's mind-blowing that whenever we actually plan trips, it's not months in advance. Other than the wedding coming up, it's few weeks. We literally did it within a month's time. Yeah. So we're excited to say.
Where are we going?
We're going to Disneyland Paris.
We have a huge trip planned. We are actually going to be going to London and staying with my family and hanging out at home and sort of seeing the sights and seeing friends.
Seeing the city.
And doing a 2-night trip with my mum and my sister to Disneyland Paris. We are so excited.
Exactly. I'm very excited. I haven't been to the UK since 2016.
It's long overdue.
So just over 2 years. So and I've not been to Disneyland Paris since 2014.
Yeah,
so
that was both of our last times to Disneyland Paris. I went a bunch as a kid, obviously it being so close to where I grew up, but we have not been since 2014, which was our first real trip together, wasn't it?
That was our first real trip together, and it was fun. Great times. Maybe some photos here we can pop up of our trip in Paris, but now we get to go back.
Yes, and the plan is we will be staying at the Sequoia Lodge, which is right there on property, for 2 nights. So we have park tickets for 3 days, which came with the deal that we got with the hotel. So we'll be in the park for a good solid couple of days, which is really exciting.
That is exciting. So we have plans on where we're gonna go and what we're gonna do. But I think we should talk about our top favorite things that we're looking forward to doing in Disneyland.
Yeah, so our 5 must-dos, but in a sense of these are things that we must do when we go on our trip.
Yeah, it's what I'm looking forward to most.
Yes.
These top 5 things.
We haven't compared lists, so be interested to find out.
What is in your list number 1?
Number 1, Crush's Coaster. Crush's Coaster is a Finding Nemo themed roller coaster in the Walt Disney Studios park of Disneyland Paris. So for those of you that don't know, there are 2 parks at Disneyland Paris, and Crush's Coaster it's been around for a few years. It's like one of the newer rides, but it is an excellent ride.
Yeah.
It is in the dark, it spins, it's like dips, and it's just fantastic.
Think of Primeval World, but smaller, indoors,
less violent,
more smooth,
more thrilling,
and fun.
So yeah, that's my number 1 thing. That is a thing I must absolutely achieve on this Disneyland Paris trip is go on Crush's Coaster.
We're definitely going there. Alright, my first pick, as the one thing that I want to see is the castle. Now, it's I think it's the most beautiful castle of all.
It's my favorite.
It is. It's beautiful. And I loved it the first time I saw it. I cannot wait to see it again. And the dragon.
Oh yeah.
The dragon under the castle. A real dragon. It actually smokes fire and everything. It's real.
It's Maleficent.
Yeah. You see the Maleficent is back at Disney World. That's the fake. The real one.
The real one lives under Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Sleeping Beauty Castle. And I can't wait for that castle. It's so beautiful, and I just can't wait to get all the photos.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, it is another Sleeping Beauty Castle. Yeah. So slightly different from the one in Disneyland California, but it is pink and blue, similar to the one in California. But it's very different and very beautiful. Okay, the good top one.
Oh, what's yours?
Kind of plays nicely into my number 2 must-do item, which is take advantage of extra magic hours, or the extra magic hour that we'll have being an on-property guest. So I believe on the 2 days that we're there, it's from 8:30 in the morning to 9:30, and I just think that is the perfect opportunity to get the sort of photos that we want of the castle, also of the Fantasyland. It is so beautiful in Disneyland Paris. There is so much detail, and I'm just looking forward to being there when the park's a little bit quieter and taking photos and really being able to soak in that castle and the beauty of Disneyland Paris, because it is very special.
Looking for the no sleep event that we always have when we go to
Disney trip. Yeah, sleep when
Who needs sleep? My second is something that's coming out in Epcot, I believe next year or 2 years from now, and that is the Ratatouille ride. Now, this ride, I did not know what to expect when I first went to Paris the first time, and it was like the most amazing thing I've ever ridden at that time, actually. Because it's a trackless ride. Like, what you're on has like a mind of its own. It doesn't go on a specific pattern. It does its own thing. And the way it works is that it's like you're the mouse and you're Remy, and you're running around the kitchen and doing, it's like this little adventure. But what's cool about it is that it's not the same as the other cars. And that was amazing. Yeah. And just the way it was done with things, you know, like the fire when you go under the oven.
Oh yeah.
It's just so mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's so cool. If any of you have seen any vlogs of Tokyo Disney, I believe it's actually similar to the Winnie the Pooh honey pot ride that they have there. I think it's I think it's kind of a similar ride operation, but oh, I didn't realize you loved it so much. Cool.
I enjoyed that ride. That was one of my favorite rides, thinking back to Disneyland Paris. So.
It's a nicely themed area. It's very cool.
So we're going to number 3.
Okay.
What is number 3 to you?
Hyperspace Mountain. Last time John and I were there, it was still the second version of Space Mountain in Disneyland Paris. Space Mountain Mission 2.
Oh.
Mission 2. Yeah. Since we have been there, I believe in 2015 or so, Space Mountain in Disneyland Paris received another overlay, which is Star Wars themed, which to me sounds incredibly cool. And for anybody that hasn't seen the Space Mountain in Disneyland Paris, if you've never ridden it, it's kind of a ramped up version of Space Mountain in Magic Kingdom or Disneyland, in the fact that you have a launch part. There are loop-the-loops, there are corkscrews. It is a pretty intense roller coaster ride. Imagining that to like the John Williams Star Wars theme sounds pretty cool to me. So I'm very excited for that.
I'm very excited for that. She's gotten more into Star Wars as of late.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that, oh yeah, we're both excited for something.
Yeah, actually we didn't tell you, but we have been doing like Star Wars marathons recently, because one of the Christmas presents that I got John was to see The Empire Strikes Back with a live orchestra. So we did that a couple weeks ago. That was cool, huh?
It was so much fun.
Yeah. But I digress. What is your number 3?
Well, you spoke of Hyperspace Mountain, which I actually had.
As your number 3?
As my number 3.
Yay!
I had it under Star Wars Space Mountain because at the time I was writing this actual list, I couldn't think of hyperspace until I realized it like right when we started vlogging. But you took it. I should have went first. Anyway, that was also my 3rd one. So yeah. Hyperspace Mountain, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I wanted to catch it when Disneyland had theirs, but we missed it by like a month.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited for this.
It'll be fun. It'll be really cool. Alright, on to number 4. My number 4 is to eat at the Captain Jack's restaurant.
Captain Jack's restaurant? Please explain.
That's probably quite genuine as well. So my sister actually went to Disneyland Paris a few months back and got to experience Captain Jack's restaurant. There are several, you know, pretty good sit-down restaurants within Disneyland Park. This is one that I haven't eaten at before. It is kind of like the Blue Bayou restaurant in Disneyland in the fact that it's next to Pirates of the Caribbean and you can kind of see the ride as you dine.
So Captain Jack's has the same thing, you can actually see.
Yes, and it's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Cool. I'm not too like fussed about going and eating at all the sit-down restaurants this time. Like, it's a super quick trip. I'm happy to eat a Mickey shake pizza or a hot dog or whatever, but if we have a sit-down meal, then I'd like to try that because my sister raved about the food and said it was definitely worth going to. So I'm hoping we get to do that on one of the days.
I'm excited for that too.
New information.
Yeah, definitely new information. My number 4 is just being in a different Disney park.
Okay.
It's more of a not specific place, but it's just the feeling of being at Disney. I am excited. I wish it snows when we're there because it has been snowing. It is still winter time.
It will be cold and it will probably rain.
Yeah.
There's a chance it could snow, but it will be a different experience completely.
I hope it doesn't rain because we didn't have a good time last time.
It'll rain.
It's gonna snow. It'll be snow. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all things that we're doing, both parks, seeing the village, visiting Disneyland Hotel. And so just the whole thing as a whole, I'm definitely
just being like different.
Just something different, and it's not what we're used to. And cool. I think that's the most exciting part about this whole thing. So that was my number 4. If I had to pick one thing, I want to see the Jolly Roger and Skull Rock.
Oh, Skull Rock, yeah.
So that's something that I'm looking forward to, but that's something that is part of the whole thing. So, yeah.
Very cool. Now on to number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5 for me is something that I love to do whenever I go to Disneyland Paris. And that is to have a coffee or a cocktail in Cafe Fantasia, which for those of you that don't know is the sort of cafe bar that's within the Disneyland Hotel. The Disneyland Hotel is the main signature hotel on Disneyland Paris property, and it's the big pink one that you see at the entrance of Disneyland Paris. You actually have to walk through or under the hotel to get to Disneyland Paris, the entrance. So in there is this really nice, like, quaint little bar. They play like Disney music on the piano, and it's just a really nice place to have a drink and relax.
It's very relaxing from what I remember.
Yeah, so I love to do that. The Disneyland Hotel is gorgeous, so I like to explore that as well a little bit. So just when we're not at the parks, that'll be a nice little place to hang out.
Yeah.
What's your number 5?
Number 5. Now, this is based on my experience from the first time I saw it, and I think it was the most amazing thing ever. And this was a castle show.
Dreams is not at Disneyland Paris anymore.
No, it's not. What is in there now? I'm sticking to this, right? So I know that this is probably not a thing now. When we went to Disneyland Paris, one of my favorite things was the actual castle show. It was fireworks, the water fountains as if it was in World of Color. You have the fireworks, and then you have the castle projection show. It's like all the things that are good in nighttime shows all in one.
Yeah,
and Peter Pan was like the main guy, which I know is probably gonna be different now.
When we were there, it was the Dream Show.
The Dream Show.
So that's a different show now, but it could still be good.
I have not looked it up, and I don't care to see it online. I want to see it on person. Okay. So I'm sure that if it's not better, I'm sure it's as good as it was. And I'm sure they're using the exact same features of projection, fireworks, and water display, and I am looking forward to that. I had a great time last time. I know half of it is French, half of it is English, which really didn't...
It doesn't deter.
Yeah, it didn't really feel too off. We're in France, of course. I'm not expecting, you know, anything less, but it was actually cool to see that that's different. You know, it was like, oh, you're getting a French version of Peter Pan, or you know, a mix of both. Because I think they had shows too, like the daytime shows where they mix it up with French and English.
Yeah, it's usually like a conversation. So, for example, you know, one person will speak or ask the question in French, and then the response or the reply will usually be in English. So it's like a conversation, two-way conversation.
Two-way conversation.
Yes. So that is our top 5 must-dos, the things that we are most excited for on this upcoming trip, which is coming so soon. We're very excited. So we are going to be back from now on with our weekly videos. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we do have a new camera as well. So we will be using that from now on. Hopefully it works out okay for our upcoming adventures and our upcoming videos. We've got some good ideas, I think.
We have some good ideas, and I think we'll be vlogging in London as well.
Yes. So
we'll show you that side of the trip.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it'll pop up here in this channel.
Let us know what you want to see. If you are interested in seeing our regular trips, and if you want to see us having fun in London, because I am so excited to be home. It's been far too long. So I cannot wait to be in the UK. We've been talking a lot about our trip to Disneyland Paris, but really the reason that we're doing this trip is for me to go home and see family and hang out.
Yeah, it's our like Christmas.
Belated Christmas.
Belated Christmas in February.
Yeah, we're actually doing a full Christmas day, the day after we arrive. Christmas dinner, all the trimmings.
Excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Definitely excited for that.
Yeah.
And just an update on the rest of the stuff that's going on with NNGU. Our Instagram, NeverNeverGrowingUp, is about to hit 7K. And I think we're gonna do a little giveaway.
Yeah, so if you don't follow us already, do check us out on Instagram and give us a follow. Do keep an eye out for our giveaway post. It will be upcoming probably in the next week or so.
Yeah, within this week, because we're very close. We should hit the 7K within the next few days.
Yeah.
And from there, we're gonna do some giveaways. And it's stuff that we've actually received in our last few Disney trips. So you're gonna see some stuff from the cruise that we went to, Disney World, and maybe a few little things that we have that we've been meaning to give away. So.
Yeah, we'll have a little collection for you.
Yeah, definitely. So check that out. Thank you for watching, and we'll definitely see you next week.
See you then, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.